Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. Feels good. Feels good to get back to that after an abysmal 2 games in a row. Losing 2. Unbelievable. Unacceptable. But we're back in the win column now. A win that I would say is a win you can be proud of. Not a dominant win. Not a win that you would look at and go, oh yeah, we win that 10 out of 10 times. But certainly a win against a desperate Jets team that is in the second wild card position in the West. A team that I think is pretty damn talented. A win you can be proud of. On the road, third game of a road trip against a team that needs the points way more than you do. Way more. And we still went in there, had a nice strong start, bent but didn't break. This is a full team effort that you can be proud of. There are still things to work on. There are always things to work on. There's still little things that you're worried about. There will always be things to be worried about. This is hockey. But you got to feel genuinely good about a win like this. I do not see how you could criticize a win like this. Not a perfect game, but this is a good win. The Jets are 3-5-2 in their last 10. They've gone on a bit of a slump. They are middling offensively, although they certainly have the talent to be better than that. Decent defensively, although talent-wise you'd think they'd be worse. Hellebuck's numbers are still decent, but he's also still a top-tier goalie. Like, his numbers don't reflect just how good he really is. Even the best goalies go through this weird kind of roller coaster through their career. Your seasons vary quite a bit. Their penalty kill is a huge strength, 4th in the league. It's still no excuse for our power play, which continues to be abysmal. We beat them 3-2 in December. I didn't look too deeply into that game. It's been 3 months now, so I'm not really going to spend a ton of time looking at past games that are not the same teams as they were. I honestly think very highly of the Jets. I think they have the talent to really go far in the playoffs. Obviously, this latest skid isn't good, and them being a second wild card in a conference that's not that impressive doesn't exactly scream contender. But with their top 6, which I think is very strong, with their goaltending, I mean, the right guys get hot at the right time. I think that team can upset a team or two in the playoffs. I really do believe that. They are also, as I already mentioned, desperate. They need the points right now. Teams below them have games in hand. They are only a couple points up to keep that positioning. They need the points. So to get any win, especially at their home barn, is something that you can at least smile about. And to get a win like this, where the team really had a lot of great moments, a lot to smile about. A lot to smile about. The Bruins, on the other hand, Swayman is going to start. He was literally flawless. Hall and Foligno obviously still out. Orlov is going to replace Clifton on the third pair. Clifton's going to sit. The other pairs return to normal with Lindholm and Carlo and Grizz and McAvoy. Kind of a pretty decent showing with that kind of lineup. I can see why people are arguing right now about having Orlov down that third pair. I still don't side with them yet. But it was a pretty good display defensively, although the pairings did have some lapses. But again, you're moving them around so much, that's going to happen. We're still number 1 in defense. We're still number 2 in offense. We're still number 1 in the penalty kill. The power play is now 12th in the league. Remember that in late November, early December, maybe late December, we were like number 1, 2, or 3 in power play, depending on the week. And we have cratered since then. And going 0 for 3 tonight, obviously not going to help. I don't care about that. Obviously, well, I guess I do. I care about the percentage that we're scoring at with it. So I do care about that. It's just a weird way to put it, like, oh, we're only this in the league. We're not 12th in the league. We're not. In the last 2 months, we are 31st in the league in power play percentage. 31st. For those of you doing math at home, that's 1 place above last place. Tough math. 31st. With all the talent we have on this squad, 31st. That includes the Blackhawks, the Coyotes, the Ducks, the Sharks, 31st. But who cares about 31st? Like, comment, subscribe. Let's talk about this game. Puck drops! And we get exactly the shift you want to see from the third line. This is, to a T, what this third line should be doing. And they were very good in this game. But Freddie is in the neutral zone. We are 52 seconds in. Freddie is in the neutral zone. He's going to take a hit with Coyle screaming up the ice behind him. He's going to take a hit to chuck the puck down the right wall. Coyle's going to get there. He's going to fight with the defense to keep it. And then he's going to push it farther down the wall as Bertuzzi catches up, comes around the net. He's going to collect behind the net and immediately gets it off of his stick to Freddie, who went to the slot. And he's wide open. And he's got blocker side, shovels it at blocker side. And it is 1-0. Freddie's 15th of the season. You love to see that. And the third line is really starting to come together. They haven't been dominant all the time, but their underlying numbers are really good. They're in the offensive zone more than they're in the defensive zone, and they're putting up points. This is exactly the type of goal you expect from them. Take a hit to make a play. Keep possession, get it to a playmaking winger, Bertuzzi, and he finds the right pass to a guy open to bury it. 1-0, perfect start. Perfect. Less than 30 seconds later, Lauko is going to get interfered with by DeMello. We're going to go to the power play. It is awful, horrendous, terrible, disgusting, butt cheeks. It's a bad power play. 12 minutes remaining. Freddie for tripping. We're going to go to the penalty kill. And as it expires, there's a total breakdown as the puck is lost in the skates of Zacha. Everyone kind of reacts. Jets poke it away. Everyone reacts to where it goes. It then leaves Connor wide open on that right circle. They shove the puck to him. Everyone overreacts to that. He sends it right back into the slot to Wheeler. And somehow Swayman's able to get across, full splits, gets the arms out, and underneath the blocker arm just pinches this shot. It comes back out, and the second attempt for Scheifele, he has a wide open net, and McAvoy somehow swipes this out of the crease on a full-speed shot to prevent the goal. Swayman was everything for our penalty kill tonight. Our penalty kill wasn't great. It did really well. Held them to 0 goals on 5 power plays, but Swayman was a huge part of that. 8:49 left. Orlov is going to go for tripping, but as the penalty expires, Carlo is going to knock down an entry attempt by the Jets and send it up the ice to Hathaway, who kind of has a 2-on-2. He's on that right circle. He is going to shoot this wide and then come back through the slot. Hellebuck's down, gets the puck, tries to backhand it at a sharp angle, and it goes far post and out. Just brutal luck for Hathaway. And it's going to come back down our way. And Carlo's going to knock down another attempted entry by the Jets. This time feed Zacha right ahead of him for, again, a 2-on-1. And Zacha's thinking shot the entire time. The pass isn't there. And he goes Bardowski, Sniper Rooney, and cheese. Glove side. Ping in. I keep calling him the king of almost. And hold on, the handle here. Rob Shot on Twitter. The king of ping. He really is. He hits the post more than anybody on this team. And a lot of times when he's scoring, it's a ping and in. The king of ping. I like it. I like that a lot. 4:38 left. Nemestikov's going to go for roughing. Time for a power play. Let's shake it off, boys. No, 20 seconds in. Puck gets past Lindholm. It looks like it's going to be a 2-on-none. And Lindholm decides to interfere, basically purposely interfere so he gets to the puck first. They're going to call that. It wipes out the power play. We're going 4-4 for $1.40. For $1.40. And then 20 seconds of a penalty kill. The reason this is a really smart play is because your power play is terrible. So you'd rather just even the ice to 4v4 than give up a 2-on-none. I think that's the right play there. Nothing will happen through all of that. 21 seconds left. Hathaway is going to go for Neen, which was an interesting call. The refs did not have a good night. Who gives a crap? Penalty kill. We're going to have to kill a lot of it in the second period. So the score's 2-0. Going into the second period, you're expecting a desperate Jets team to come at you, and you're totally right. We are a turnover machine through 7 minutes. They are really barreling down on us, but we're bending. We are not breaking. There is a bit of an odd man rush to a turnover, and Schmid, oh my God, goes barring out. This was rifled at the crossbar. Swayman wouldn't have had this one. Hell of a shot from the left circle, but off by that much. We'll take it. Second period continues like that. 7 minutes left of the period. It is a beer league special. Lob pass, Zaka skates into it, and Hellebuck is 15 feet out of the net to create pressure and ends up poking the puck away from Zaka. If Zaka could have gotten around him, he had a wide open. He could have dunked it if he wanted. I mean, look at this. Just brutal luck for the kid, but it'll be fine. 3:30 left. Lindholm goes for hooking. Forbort blocks a shot during this penalty kill and has to limp off the ice once we finally get a whistle. Nosek, with a really dumb play, ends up turning it over even though he could have gotten a 200-foot clear and keeps him on the ice longer than he wanted to. He has to then sit on the bench for the last couple of minutes of the period because the locker room is across the ice. So he's just sitting there dealing with whatever he's dealing with. He would be in a boot at the end of the game. He would not return to the game, obviously. So now that's a whole other conversation about how Forbort's doing. There were some numbers thrown out during the game. Our penalty kill is almost at 89% when Forbort's on the ice. Our penalty kill is closer to like 75% when he's not. That's a massive difference. So that's something to watch for sure. Third period, I don't have a lot of notes, actually. It's a lot more of the back and forth track meet kind of stuff. But 4:35 in, Morrissey is going to go for cross-checking. Thank you to my fantasy team with a couple negative points there. Thanks, buddy. We are going to go on the power play. It's a brutal call. It's not cross-checking at all. But we're going to go to the power play, and it's going to be bad again. So, I mean, it looked okay, but I can't take moral victories anymore. We're either scoring on the power play or we're possessing, and I can be like, oh, well, it looks better, or it just sucks. Like, either way, if you're not doing the scoring part, there's no moral victories anymore for the power play. It's bad. It's bad. 3 minutes left. Jets will pull Hellebuck. Nosek is going to get the empty netter with about 15 seconds left. That's your final. 3-0. Swayman, the game note. Swayman gets a shutty that he saved so many goals that should have been goals. I mean, there was at least 3 or 4 chances that are the highest of high danger. Fantastic. Working through screens really well. Yeah, his rebound control still occasionally leaves something to be desired, but he got good enough support there. But this was not a game where the defense made sure that they didn't allow anything to get in on him. No, he just made the big saves. And you love to see it. Hopefully he can get hot again. I know he's had a rough couple of goes. Forbort's health is a huge note. We just don't know right now. But in a boot after the game is not exactly a good sign. Lauko has earned another game. Here's a stat from Connor Ryan on Twitter. He had a team low 628 of 5-on-5 ice time tonight. He led the Bruins in individual scoring chances at 5 during 5-on-5 play and was tied with Pasternak for the team lead in individual shot attempts at 5-on-5 play, which was 6 attempts. The guy, not only has he earned another game, but he's probably earned, maybe 9 minutes of ice time. I know we don't roll the fourth line as much as some other teams do. We tend to use the fourth line as special teams fodder with the occasional shift. They will play penalty minutes. But I think we can trust this fourth line to crush 10 minutes of a game. I really do. And I hope that there's a strategy in place to get them utilized like that, because you can take some real pressure off of some of your bigger guys by playing this line for 10 minutes. Now, obviously, if they're not scoring, you're also taking minutes away from potentially scoring lines. So there's a balance here, but when you have the lead, you can use the fourth line. And that includes a guy like Lauko and a guy like Greer. So I'll be interested to see that ice time for sure going up towards the end of the season, because duh. We should not be playing the top two lines nearly as much as we have been once we get closer to the end of the season. But he's earned another look. He's been really good and really impactful in a very small amount of time. There's not much more to say about it. The last game, though, is, again, it's not a perfect game. Not a dominant game. But the only concern you walk away with on this one is, what the fuck is wrong with the power play? Someone earlier told me, what if you put Zaka in instead of DeBrusque? Sure. What if we took Marchand off the top unit? Fucking fine. Do anything. I know we just put Orlov on there, which changed again tonight, by the way. Orlov McAvoy was on the second unit for a little while, and it varies quite a bit. But continue just... I don't even know how to fix it at this point. I do know. How about you get these guys moving? We set up in our spots, and we just play catch. And then eventually, we go to one of two places. And this is the same thing for the past 6 goddamn years with this shit. All right, that's a little extreme. We either go to Pasta in a circle, which is where we go 80% of the time, or to Bergeron in the slot in the bumper position. That is where we go. Every time. Every time. Every time. And every team in the league. I don't care if you have a coach coming in the league. You could be a peewee coach that got a weird call. They thought you were someone else. And they're like, hey, you got the job. Great. Show up on Monday. And you show up on Monday and you're playing the Boston Bruins and you're coaching an NHL team. And you just go, oh, well, I've never watched any tape on these guys, but I know what the fuck they're doing. It's so obvious. You got to change something. You got to put together a couple of set plays. I don't know. Get the feet moving, though. You can't just stand there for 2 minutes. It's not the entries. The entries aren't the issue anymore. You're not going to get transition goals on the power play very often because the 4 guys are sitting back in their zone. It's not the entries that have been the issue. We can get in the zone and set up lately. We just can't create a shooting lane because we're standing the fuck still. I have no clue how a group of professionals is unable to make this semi-competent. A 2-month slump isn't a slump. It's a bad power play. I am just flabbergasted at this one. Flabbergasted. I hate to end on a negative note, but I'm gonna. Go Beast. Go Beast!